You're watching what police say is a burglary in progress. The target? A souped-up Dodge Charger. But what this alleged burglar doesn't know is that this car is owned by this guy.
This is Arma, and he is in.
Alex Arma Jr.
Touchdown!
A fullback and a rising star for the NFL's Carolina Panthers.
And he is in for a Carolina touchdown.
How tall are you? How big are you?
6'2", 250.
That's a lot of football player.
It helps a little bit on the field.
You're trained to have a target and get it.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he did.
We're trying to fight, sir.
This video, being shown for the first time on ABC News, shows Alex capturing a man police say had broken into his car.
Stop!
Exchanging a few choice words and holding him until police arrive.
I can't relax like this, dude. I can't either. You just try to break my car.
Apprehending the bad guy thanks in part to this, an owl security camera he'd installed in his car, which alerted Alex to what was happening. What he did next, we might add, should not be tried at home.
Just relax. I called the police.
Devices like Owl are part of the growing multi-billion-dollar consumer surveillance market, protecting our cars and our homes with smart devices like Ring and Google Nest, making it easier to catch thieves in the act.
Our homes, our cars, obviously they're some of our biggest investments, and they also, we're personally attached to them. Cars, etc., mean something to us beyond the dollar value.
Which means something to Alex, the son of a tax accountant, a hard-working immigrant from Ghana.
So when you got that first check, how'd you spend it?
My first purchase was a car. Yeah.
What'd you buy?
Charger.
So this was your first car?
Yeah, this is like my first legit car that I paid for with my own money.
This isn't just your first car, it's your first love.
Yeah.
But just months after driving that first love off the lot,
December 15th, my car was broken into. I mean, windows shattered, glass hanging out on my paint, scraped up my side of my car.
When you saw it, what was your reaction?
You just feel very violated. And I feel like it's just disgusting to see your own property like that, something you worked hard to get.
So Alex decided to invest in some security, choosing that Owl, a dash cam linked to his cell phone with real-time video if there's been a crash or a break-in.
So what was happening the night that it actually happened?
I was doing a late night ab routine.
Like we all do.
Of course. And I got this instant notification on my phone. So boom, I check, see someone in my car, and that's when the adrenaline starts running.
And you ran out.
Book it. I go into kick-ass mode.
It's like a blast of adrenaline.
Adrenaline and an uh-oh moment for the alleged burglar, now standing face-to-face with 250 pounds of bruising NFL toughness.
I see this guy finishing, closing my door, and he sees me walking towards him in an aggressive manner.
And he's running away from you. And what did you do?
He tries to run. Obviously, he didn't get far. I snatched him up. I grabbed him, and I threw him out here. He comes this way, in between these two cars.
And he's making a run for it.
He's making a run for it.
Stop! I'll break your
Restraining him with a grappling move called an armbar, made famous by fighters in the UFC.
Where did you pick this up?
I don't know. It's just
Watching a lot of wrestling?
A lot of wrestling. I don't know. I guess I retained it. It hit me.
You just
when I was in a
absorbed.
certain position. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna armbar this fool.
Relax, y'all. You making it worse for yourself.
All captured on Alex's cell phone video by his apartment concierge, earning Arma a new nickname, Alex Armbar.
And so how did the cops respond when they saw an NFL player with an armbar around the guy?
As soon as he saw it was me, because he was working the previous case, he was like, man, not again. This happening again. I was like, yeah, it's up. This time I caught the guy. And they were really impressed. I was like, you did a good job. You did what you had to do.
The alleged burglar, 32-year-old Daniel Cagle of Charlotte, arrested and charged with breaking or entering a motor vehicle. He's scheduled to appear in court later this month.
Were you ever afraid for your safety?
No.
How come?
I was just prepared for anything, and whatever's gonna happen was gonna happen.
According to the FBI, there were more than 7.5 million cases of property crime in the U.S. in 2017, costing victims an estimated $15 billion.
You can see a lot from here.
We can. Yeah, there's about 1,000 cameras right now.
Here at the Charlotte Police Department's real-time crime center, public and private surveillance cameras monitor potential crimes around the clock.
How much of a game changer is this kind of, broadly speaking, surveillance on crime fighting?
Pictures speak 1,000 words, and you go to court. It's one thing to have an officer sit up on the stand and describe it. It's completely different when they can go look at it. This is the crime that occurred.
But police warn no one should be taking the law into their own hands.
What about the idea of vigilante justice in the sense of people getting hot-headed?
You don't want to take a property crime and turn it into a violent crime. You don't want to go from being a victim to being a suspect.
If you're able to break up a couple of these high-volume car thieves, you might be breaking up a whole criminal ring.
If they're stealing a car on Friday, they might be selling some drugs on Saturday, they're doing something else on Sunday. It could translate into house breakings, shootings, all sorts of things.
And companies like Owl are hoping to disrupt the bad guys by arming consumers with high-def evidence.
We hear the story over and over again, dozens of times, where someone calls up the police effectively and says, hey, my car got broken into. I have video. Well, the videos we get aren't very good. And then they send the video from the Owl camera, which tends to have that moment where that person that breaks in realizes there's a camera with floodlights on them, and they kind of have this duh kind of moment.
Owl in the headlights.
Owl in the headlights, right?
But with more and more cameras in more and more places, there is the inevitable question of trading privacy for security.
Should people have privacy concerns?
This product is for you, and we've built it around your privacy, and that's our commitment to the user in the user agreement, and that's the way we built the whole system from the ground up.
And Owl says it's not all about break-ins and fender benders.
I think one of the ones that's hit me the hardest is there was a woman named Jennifer. Two guys came up to her, said they had a gun. She thought to kind of walk in front of the car, pulled the two of them into range of the camera. She points at it. She says, do you really want to do this? And they back off. And in less than an hour, those two guys were both arrested.
For Alex, crime fighting isn't replacing his day job anytime soon.
I know what your mom said. Let me guess. What did she say?
Go ahead.
Don't ever do that again.
She was happy that I got it taken care of, but she was like, you don't have to do that.
For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.